Hey guys, welcome back to The Last Word, and I'm your host, Scott Caverts, and tonight we're going to be talking about James Harden and how I think that he's really being slept on. Now, I know that this may seem kind of weird because Harden did finish last season second in MVP voting, and he's really acknowledged often as one of the best scorers in the game. And so I still think though that his overall game is underappreciated because when you look at the statistics, when you look at how he's doing, when you look at how his team's doing, Harden's having one of the greatest seasons of all time this year, and he's still, just kind of in that, almost good enough tier. And people always just dog on him with these excuses like, "Oh, well, he doesn't win in the playoffs," or "Oh, he's low efficiency," or "Oh, he shoots too many free throws." But we'll get to that later. So let's just start off with this, okay? So I want to read you this stat. As of today, James Harden is allowing 0.727 points per possession as a primary defender this season. That is good for the second best number in the entire NBA, okay? Now, Harden's offensive game is so phenomenal that if he can just play defense at like a league average level, this guy should be considered the best player in the league. I mean, I'm not trying to say Harden's a top two defender or anything, and I'm also not even trying to say that Harden's a great defender. I'm just saying that Harden's defense has been used as a cop out so many times before, and people just use it to dog on his overall game. Anytime someone brings up his prolific offense, people shrug it off with, "Oh yeah, his defense sucks," or "Oh yeah, he doesn't win in the playoffs." But at the end of the day, that's just ignorance to me because basketball is a team sport, okay? No team can win a title alone, not even LeBron. LeBron with those Cavs teams, he was playing some of the greatest basketball ever. He still couldn't beat a loaded Warriors roster. And the truth is, that's the same loaded Warriors roster that the Rockets lost to 3 out of their past 4 losses in the playoffs. And the other one was to a Spurs team with Kawhi Leonard, who was phenomenal. So at the same time, Harden's fellow all-star guards, they aren't really held to the same standards that he is on defense. And that really upsets me because if you look at his defense, it's totally comparable to that of Steph Curry, Kyrie Irving, Russell Westbrook, Damian Lillard. Yet Harden, he receives all this flack. And, his defense is really just as good as any of these other guys. And so Harden is one of the best offensive players in the league. We all know that. His offensive game is historically transcendental, and his defense is underrated. So this year, Harden is averaging 38 points per game, 6 rebounds per game, and 7.5 assists per game, okay? That is the highest points per game total in a season in NBA history, excluding Wilt Chamberlain, of course. So field goal percentage-wise, he's 43. Three-point percentage, he's 34. Again, those are a little bit below what you'd like to see. They're not great numbers, but they're totally acceptable. And at the same time, Harden's making 88% of his free throws, and he's shooting 14.3 free throws a game. Everybody knocks Harden for shooting free throws, and they say, "Oh, he just flops and gets bailed out by the refs." But at the end of the day, if you can consistently get to the line 14 times a game and make 88% of your free throws, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. And Harden's PER this league is third highest, okay? And tonight, against the Cavs, Harden had 55 points on 59% shooting from the field and 56% shooting from the three. He only shot 5 free throws tonight, and he still dropped 55. Okay? And back to the defensive stats for Harden. All right? Harden's averaging 2 steals per game, and he's second in the league, like I said before, in opposing points per possession as a primary defender. Now, on top of that, all right, Harden plays elite post defense. With a strong lower body and twitch-quick hands, Harden has allowed 11 points in the post this year against 38 possessions, and that's 0.289 points per possession. That's by far the best post defense in the league, statistically. Now, to continue, Harden's isolation defense is actually in the 88th percentile in the league. He's only allowing 0.586 points per possession in ISO defense. And Harden's D over the past 4 years has gone from the 18th percentile in the league to this season, he's playing defense in the 96th percentile. All right? After a rough start to the year, the Rockets as a team, their defense was tough. At the start of the year, it was kind of bad, but now they're sitting at 9th in the league in terms of points per game allowed. And the Rockets as a team are sitting at 4th in the Western Conference at 16-8. And at the end of the day, This team has a legitimate shot at winning the title, and I think that it's time that we all recognize that James Harden is having one of the greatest single seasons of all time.